Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we're continuing our read-through of Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings. We're up to chapter 38, entitled Envisager. Envisager. This is an important chapter. Kaladin has been cut down from hanging to face judgment by the Stormfather following the disastrous battle in which his side carry maneuver not just thwarted Sadeas's attack on the Shattered Plains, but caused the deaths of hundreds of bridgemen as well as many knights. And so he has been put to judgment by hanging out during a high storm, and he has survived. At the end, a couple chapters ago, when they rush out to find him, Teft seems to be a little bit more aware of something. And we get a little bit more of that in this chapter. We begin with another quotation, seemingly from Yasna or Shalon, where she has quoted somebody. His name is Gasha son Navamis, a trustworthy source, though she's not sure if the translation was correct. It reads, "Born from the darkness, they bear its taint still, marked upon their bodies as much as the fire marks their souls." Some creatures, some beings seem to have marks on their flesh, their bodies, that reflect fire in their souls. So these don't seem to be good individuals. But we'll continue on with those chapter headings in later chapters. But Kaladin is our focus character for the first half of this shorter chapter, and he is mentally coming in and out. He is so near death. Actually, at a certain point, he wakes up enough to be able to look out and see death spread, which only come to an individual or a creature when they know that death is near. The only thing that seems to be keeping them away is, in fact, Syl, who Kaladin sees on one of these lucid moments, and he sees her standing guard with a radiant sword, a radiant blade. She's glowing pure white and warding back and warding off the death spread. And so his brain is going back to his childhood. His mind is going to medical treatments as he sort of is perceiving injuries on himself, and the list of things that are wrong with Kaladin's body are immense. And so that sort of is the first half. He is just sort of somewhat lucid, somewhat out of it, completely out of it, but little glimpses of awareness. Then the second half of the chapter, we get sort of the outside perspective, and Bridge 4 has kept somebody by Kaladin every moment of the day and night, because though Sadeas delivered Kaladin up to the Stormfather for judgment, he does not believe that Sadeas actually believes that that's going to be some type of binding oath, and is concerned that they're going to send somebody to kill Kaladin. So Bridge 4 is taking turns sitting by him, and a part of it as well, they have to keep him pretty much shoved as far back into the Bridge 4 barrack, out of sight hopefully, certainly not out of mind, but just to try to keep him as far away from danger as possible. He needs sunlight, he needs like fresh air, but they have to do it. And so Teft comes back into Bridge 4, and he relieves the man who was there watching him, and I believe it was Scar. Yes, and Scar's watching him, and he says, "I got him from here." So Scar sort of wanders out. They're all pretty heartbroken. They know he is so close to death. And as we kind of end the chapter, Teft performs a science experiment. And what he does is something that he has assumed. He didn't believe the first time that he had seen Kaladin hanging there lifeless after the Highstorm, which was when he finally fell unconscious. And the spheres that he was holding that Teft had given him as a sort of good luck charm to keep alight during the storm had gone done. And Teft knows, as everyone knows, if you hold a sphere into stormlight, it is the light of the storm light refills. And there seemed to be something that both terrified and amazed Teft. Well, here he's going to confirm both his suspicions, his fears, and his hopes at the same time. And what's he going to do? He kneels down by Kaladin and he puts a couple more spheres into Kaladin's hand and closes his hand around them. And he waited. And of course, we read nothing happened. And he reached to get those spheres again. And we don't know what he's looking for. But before he's able to get them out of Kaladin's hand, Kaladin suddenly gasps air, draws in a short, quick, powerful breath. And the glow of light in his hand fades. And Teft now is frozen. His eyes are wide as he's watching what's happening here. And wisps of light begin to surround and actually come from Kaladin's body. It was as if Kaladin had been bathed in sudden heat and his very skin shone and steamed. He gasps again, and then he calms, and Teft actually witnesses parts of his body heal ever so slightly. And Teft is utterly shocked. And again, he's going to respond with some things that we don't understand yet, but he's going to say, why now? Why here? And why me? He kneels by Kaladin's bedside for a long time thinking about what's happening here, and this is what we find that he thinks. And I need to tell the Envisagers, he thought. I need to. But the Envisagers were gone, dead because of what he had done. If there were others, he had no idea how to locate them. But who would believe him? Kaladin probably wouldn't understand what he was doing himself. And the last sentence reads, best to keep it quiet, at least until he could figure out what to do about it. So Kaladin has seemed to actually take the stormlight into himself, and it has caused light to come from him, a little bit of steam or smoke to come from him, and it seems to have healed his body a little bit. Teft knows something. The fact that this is happening terrifies him, and he wants to tell these Envisagers, but apparently they don't exist anymore. So who are they? Why does Teft know about them, and why does Teft know what's happening to Kaladin? We aren't given those answers, but we will certainly look forward to finding some of them as we continue on with the story. So that's chapter 38, Envisager. What do you think Kaladin's doing? What do you think Teft knows? And do you think that this is maybe something that Kaladin has been doing for a while without even knowing it? We'll come back to the story in the next chapter, but until then, you can like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested. We're going to keep going one chapter at a time until we finish the entire book, and then I have no doubts we will continue on into the Cosmere together. Thank you so much for watching. We'll get back together on the next video.